Hello everybody, here's what's going on with real estate in Colorado Springs. Let's take a look at what the Gazette has to say really quick. Colorado Springs, home prices fall, sales decline, and construction slows as housing slump continues. So everybody knows that home prices have been, I don't know if plummeting is the right word, but they've definitely been going down. And that doesn't seem to have stopped. It's really too early in January to say if anything has changed, but as I'm assuming, prices are continuing to kind of trend down a little bit. So this article pretty much just says that everybody's kind of in shock over the doubling of interest rates from 3% to 7%, and as home prices continued to increase, that just made it completely unaffordable for many people. So even though prices have started to come down a bit, that interest rate still adds on quite a bit per month. So coming back to, we'll look at the MLS here for Colorado Springs, or we're looking at Colorado Springs properties specifically. So the green line is the average days to sell a property. So if we start from January of last year, 2022, where it took about 10 days on average until it went under contract, we've gone all the way up to about 50 to 55 days on market before a house finally goes under contract in this market right now. And then the active listings, you can see we've gone from about 1,000 last year, and we hit a high point in the June to August time frame. You can see we almost hit 2,500 active listings at a given point there, and we've come back down. We've come back down quite a bit. So now we've got 1,700-ish listings. Let's look what the data says right now. Yeah, 1657. That's how many active properties we have for sale right now in Colorado Springs. And then we can look at the closed price to original price ratio, which back in January of last year, 2022, you were getting about a little over 100% of your asking price, and that shot up to in March and April to about 104%. And now that's gone down all since then. So now in December and January, you're down to about 96% of your list price. So the price that you're asking for versus the price that it actually sells for in the end. Inventory has gone up a bit as well. So you had about a month's worth of inventory last year, and then that's increased quite a bit, all the way to about 3 months of inventory now. So we've got quite a number more of properties on the market. We just don't have as many buyers right now. So although most people are saying we're in a seller's market right now, there just are not that many buyers anyway to have a lot of sales right now. So this, you can see the sales price versus median price in Colorado Springs. And this is again from last January to this January. So you can see there's a little bit of a trend up here in, again, that April time of last year time frame. That's really when we hit our high point in prices. And we've kind of come down a little bit since then. We've still trended downward. So we're all the way down to, well, let's just click on it and see. So as of December, we had an average sale price of $471,884 and a median sales price of $425,000. I don't count these stats for January here because we're not that far into the month. So these numbers are not going to be necessarily accurate, but you can see for January those numbers still are trending down a bit. So we'll see if that continues. This, if you go to coloradosprings.gov, they just put this out. They're trying to create about 1,000 affordable housing units per year for the next 5 years here in Colorado Springs. So that's what Mayor Suthers has pledged to do in order to provide housing for residents of Colorado Springs or anybody that's moving here. So if you want to look at their executive summary. I pulled up the one for 2022. So this just this is really short. It's like 3 pages, but 1,057 units in 2022 is what ended up doing. So you can read about what that looks like, and then also interesting down here you can see what their projections, or I guess their averages, are for different people, what they make per hour and what their salary is per year versus what the average rent is. So the median income for a household of 4 in Colorado Springs is apparently $96,100. The average rent for a 2-bed, 1-bath here in Colorado Springs is $1,528 a month. So that's their numbers. I looked at some other numbers as well. So datacommons.org. This gives you the population of, so Colorado Springs is population of 484,000 people. This is chock full of information if you want to see just what things break down into based on how many people are employed, unemployed, the poverty rate, the median income, health. There's a whole bunch of fun stuff in here. And then this website, I think, was said about 490 some thousand people for Colorado Springs. So this one I was interested in because, and the reason I bring up the total population is because there's an amount of those people that are Gen X and millennials and younger who are moving out of their parents' house, or whatever the situation they are. They're getting prepared to buy a house, and so these are people who are entering the housing market, and there's just not enough housing here, even though we don't have a lot going on real estate wise because it's expensive. Our city is still planning out the inevitable, which is that there will still be a housing demand no matter what the price is. So if we look at, I'm going to count everybody from age 30 to 40. So you can see, just for age 30, there's 20,000 men, 18,000 women. So if you count up the ages 30 to 40, and really I think it's 30 to 60, because 45 to 60, I think, is going to be the Gen X, and then the millennials are younger. So, but if we're just counting 30 to 40, I counted all that up. That's still 97,900. That's basically 100,000 people that are going to need housing. And even if you cut that in half and say, okay, the average household is 2 people, so even that's still 50,000 people that need housing that we don't have housing for. So I just see the future of Colorado Springs as a increasing demand for housing and still no way to fill it. I anticipate, no matter what the interest rates do, I anticipate the cost of housing continuing to go up long term anyway. I don't know what's going to do in the next 6 months or a year, let's say, but I expect it to continue going up overall. And it's not going to get any better because there are more people moving here. There are more people just living and being alive that need housing. So the last thing we're going to look at is apartmentlist.com, which they send me a report every month on Colorado Springs. And you can just look this up yourself too, but this tells you how the rental market is doing in Colorado Springs. So you can see the average 1-bed apartment is $1,204 a month for the median rent. For a 2-bedroom, it's $1,509 a month. The overall median rent in Colorado Springs for any property is $1,552 a month. So although prices for rents have apparently fallen month over month about 1.5%, the prices remain up 4.5% year over year. So it is still increased. I'd recommend looking at this site as well, because you can see the purple line is how Colorado Springs rent growth has been over the past 12 months. The blue is US and the green is Colorado. So it's mostly been consistent. Colorado Springs has seen a little bit more growth, and even with the decline, it's still generally higher than the national. So take a look at that site. But yeah, that's all I got for you. I'll talk to you next time.